Good morning. Hello from Australia. My name is Samantha O'Rourke and welcome to Beyond the Stars. So my guest today is Daniel Scranton, who is also in Australia.
Yep.
But you have lived off somewhere else, weren't you, before that? Because I thought you were overseas at some stage. Is that
Oh
correct?
yeah, I'm a Yankee by birth. I was born in
Okay.
Connecticut, and
We won't hold that against you in any way, shape, or form in this country.
yeah.
Yeah. So welcome, Daniel. Daniel Scranton, for those that don't know, my guest. I'm just going to give him a really quick, brief idea of who you are before you come on in and let us know a little bit more. But
Right.
Daniel is actually, I'm going to pump you up a little bit, if that's all right. He is, go for it. He is a worldwide channel author, mentor. He does do a lot of training, coursework, and mentorship for many people for many different reasons. So a lot of his professional work is he's pretty much a spiritual teacher, which then obviously led him into writing books, helping other people to awaken and come into their own empowerment and find their sovereignty, and also to bless them with an understanding of who they may be, who they work with, and what their journey's truly meant to them personally. Now, Daniel does work with many different star nations and off-world species as well. And the reason that I was drawn to him, for many other things alone, just because he's pretty, sorry, is that he works with the Arcturian Councils and things like that, which I've had connections with, and many other star nations. He also comes into the creators, Archangel Michael, Gabriel, Yahshua, Kuan Yin, the Hathors, and the Palladian Council of Seven, which I've been in connection with Palladians and a few as well. So I was very drawn to who he was, the work he was doing. And then I had a few people come to me and say, look, maybe go and contact Daniel. I was hearing a lot of great rapport about you and that you had a genuine, authentic heart. So I thought, okay, why not? So I know, I'm such a suck, right? So Daniel,
Yeah.
usually when I have people on my podcast, I like them to start off to just give us a little brief idea of who you really are and your journey, especially how you got to the point of becoming a channel in the way you are, because your channeling is very deep, very direct, and different to a lot of other people. So I've seen a bit of your work here and there, and I've noticed how you really do go into that deep channel that people would love to be able to do themselves personally. So if you like, just explain that to us, that'll be wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I was someone who was always interested in what else was out there because I was raised Catholic, but not everybody who I knew who was part of that faith was taking it seriously like I was. I was taking it very seriously at a young age. And at 18, I went off to university and I started learning about all this other stuff. And it kind of made the Christian stuff seem like less significant because it seemed like, well, there's a lot of stories out there. There's a lot of different ideas and philosophies. And I was a psychology major and took a lot of Greek and Roman myth courses and just learned about all these other points of view and how they were similar but different from Christianity. So my Christianity just kind of like atrophied to the point where it didn't exist anymore for me, and I was just atheist. But when I was atheist, I began to explore spirituality because I listened to Tony Robbins' Personal Power. Personal Power series. It was like the second one, I think. And it spoke to me, some of the stuff that I was listening to on there that an employer of mine sort of made me listen to. I wasn't, at that point, I wasn't really a seeker. I was just kind of an unhappy atheist, just kind of like, I guess we're all going to die someday. And
such a positive influence that you were at that time. Yeah, right.
Wasn't like Ricky Gervais going like, yeah, atheism. It's kind of like,
I like Ricky Gervais because he's a bit cheeky. So,
I just it was thrust upon me. Spirituality. I didn't go looking for it. I just found me, and then I started to investigate these various authors and books and anything I could get my hands on at the library. And, Eckhart Tolle was really big, a big teacher in the beginning for me. And then and then Ram Dass and Yogananda and Wayne Dyer and all these others. And I eventually found Conversations with God, which was my first channeled material. That led to the Seth books eventually. And then Seth led to Abraham. And once I got into Abraham, I could actually go to workshops, you know, and I went to many Abraham workshops, hundreds. I went on 8 of their cruises. I was listening, reading all the time. And I think that gave me, in addition to me starting to meditate before I even had woken up, before I even found the Tony Robbins thing, I had already started meditating. So I was meditating, a daily meditator for 10 years before I started channeling.
Okay, right.
But what really happened, what really changed everything, for me, everything changed in 2010. I started to do Reiki on people because I liked the way I felt when I did it. And then my hands started moving around while I was doing Reiki on people in my head and then my lips. And I thought, oh my gosh, am I going to channel? I never considered myself someone who would have the potential even to be able to do it. Yeah. And then my ET encounter in March of 2010, that changed everything for me. It came right after a dark night of the soul moment of feeling like I was in such physical and emotional pain. I just wanted to end my life. And
wow, okay.
I didn't make an attempt or anything or take any steps towards it, but it was in my head like this would be a great way to get out of here. And then I had this enormous energy come in through the crown of my head in the middle of the night after I had woken up from a dream. And in the dream, I was speaking to a guy who I knew from the Abraham circle who was really into extraterrestrial stuff. And so I knew in the dream when I said to him, I understand now about the other beings. I knew that I was referring to ETs. Yeah. And then this energy was coming in through my crown and causing me to be in such ecstasy, such physical pleasure that like I could not believe what I was feeling. I couldn't fathom that a person could feel as good as I was feeling. Like it just unbelievable. And my back was arched. I was practically not on the bed. And I just kept saying, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, more please, more please, more please. One more time, one more time. Then I started asking questions like, what does this have to do with that dream? What does this have to do with aliens? And as soon as I thought the word aliens, I got a huge surge of the energy come through me. So then I just kept thinking about aliens, to try to get more of it. And it was like having one of those morphine drips if you're in pain at the hospital and you just press the button. So I asked a bunch of questions. I eventually opened my eyes to see if I could see them in the room. I couldn't see anything in the room. I now understand that they were in another dimension. They were non-physical. Maybe they were the Arcturian Council. I've never asked the Arcturian Council.
Right.
Kind of got the feeling like it was related to the ETs that are, responsible for the hybrid hybridization program. But I don't know actually who it was. It could have been a combination of my guides and my and all kinds. But obviously, it was meant to put me on a path to explore extraterrestrial stuff, which I did, and I already knew about Darryl Anka because before I went on my Abraham, pilgrimage where I just was going to all the Abraham events I could. I went to Darryl's home and I had a private session with 2005. And I basically decided after exploring that and Abraham that I was more interested in Abraham. So I went on that track for those 5 years. And then I came back to Darryl and Bashar because of the ET thing. And but I was in an Abraham workshop in 2010 in October when I asked Abraham, hey, what's going on with me? I keep having these weird experiences. It feels like I was convulsing. I was feeling like I was having high heaves when I would really tune in and go deep. They said, you're going to do the thing that Esther does. You're just working through your resistance to it. Just keep doing what you're doing. And that's not the answer I was expecting.
No. Did they come in? Sorry to interrupt. Did they when they first came through and you said that you weren't really sure if they're in the room or where they were, do you think obviously, but I'm an OBE experiencer and teacher, so it sounds to me that at some stage you've gone through something similar that I went through with the Arcturians, or they actually would have come and got you and taken you physically out of the body. So in that moment, you may have actually been truly having an out-of-body experience where you're in real time, it's really happening, they're physically really there, and they may have taken you somewhere even before you've come back and felt that feeling come through your channel. Because that's what it sounds a bit like, because that's what happened with me. They actually physically come and got me and took me out of my body completely, where I was fully awake, conscious, and they were in the room. So I'm just wondering if that's perhaps what happened at that time. Do you remember anything?
Yeah, I could. I actually asked Bashar about it several months later at one of his workshops, and that clip came up on YouTube of me asking Bashar. So I got to hear the answer, and he did say it was a non-physical ET.
Non-physical.
Okay, so yeah, and I do channel a lot of non-physical ET collectives, but the Arcturians the main one.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. All I know is that I was definitely in my body, because my body's never felt that good before or since. Like it was.
Yeah, true. It is an amazing feeling. It's the purest love of the universe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Source love, really.
It's very similar to what near-death experiencers describe, where they say, I can't really put into words what this was.
That love.
It's so different from anything else I've ever experienced. Like it was just phenomenal.
Yeah, I've experienced that myself multiple times, so I know what you're talking about. It's the greatest love that is unspeakable. And I did notice, even with the Arcturians, that they wanted to show people like us that they exist and understand that consciousness as well, that they understand that eternal love, that it's actually within them. So it doesn't surprise me that your experience was so powerful when they entered, that you actually went into that space. Like, that doesn't surprise me at all, because they do work with that. Yeah, I have seen that. Yeah, beautiful.
And the first group that I channeled in 2010, they didn't come through and say, we're Arcturians. They wouldn't give me a name for themselves. And I think that's because certain beings and groups in non-physical don't have names. So Abraham is not their name. That's a name that Esther had to get and download and start using. And the same was true for me. So I did that with the creators. I eventually called them the creators. And then till another 6 years later that I started channeling the Arcturians.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, it's quite a long time between. So, okay, yeah. Interesting.
I had to get ready for them, I guess. You know, I wasn't really messing around with much that you would call ET channeling at all. It was the creators. It was a fairy named Ophelia who I met in Aussie a couple years ago, who channels the same fairy that I do. So it validates both of us. We were both
for sure.
Fairy.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty cool. They actually meet someone else. It's exactly the same. Like, I don't know if that happens a lot. I don't hear a lot of people that find the same connection, the same energy that they're talking to. You know what I mean? That's pretty cool.
Pretty unique,
wow.
I guess.
Yeah, very. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, and can you just explain to people the Abraham part? Because a lot of people want to understand what that means and what that is.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, I think of Esther and Abraham as being so huge that I wouldn't need to describe in the same way. Like now, obviously, there in the channeling community, we have, our what I consider to be like the big three would be like Abraham and Esther, Daryl and Bashar, and Lee, Carol, and Cryon. Maybe other people would have a different big three, but
they are the big three.
85, 86 or something. So 40 years channeling. She goes all around the world. She does these cruises. She has these best-selling books. And she's been channeling this non-physical collective consciousness called Abraham. Speaking of Australians, we have, of course, Rhonda Byrne. She based the entire secret on Esther's work and Abraham. Because Abraham was talking about the law of attraction for decades before Rhonda came along and made that into a one of probably the best-selling DVDs ever on Amazon. And I know that because I was an Amazon reseller before I started channeling, and I sold the DVD. Yeah, I'm the person who put it on Amazon originally.
Oh, wow.
I'm the very first person to do that. And that's the law of attraction, the secret. That's all Esther and Abraham's work.
Okay, right. Yeah, because not everyone that watches my podcast will know who those people are. Some do, but not everyone. So that's why I just asked, just in case people might be interested or like to know who that is, and they can go and have a look themselves and things like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So carry on. Yep.
There's plenty of Abraham videos where somebody has made them into like cartoons, and you see like a cartoon of Esther up there channeling because she doesn't on YouTube. But other people are posting her work for her, and I think she likes it. So that's how it started. I had another big aspect of channeling is love, of course, and I had recently in 2010, like I said, everything changed. I got divorced, and I met someone on an Abraham cruise 2 weeks after my wife and I like stopped living together. And it was amazing. It was just like I fell head over heels. We had this long distance relationship. She was in London, I was in Los Angeles, and she was the one who I was practicing with after that Abraham workshop to channel. And I just sat there, and my channeling early on, it was just energy. It was no words.
Oh, okay.
So channel, but I'd be channeling energy that would be doing this.
Yep.
And I would just be sitting there for 45 minutes to an hour doing that, knowing obviously something was happening. Just like I knew, like, I'm not moving my hand. Who's moving my hand when my hand would do this? You know?
You could feel the separateness. You could feel the difference between you and that happening, right? So
people watch me
now,
they probably think, oh, he's putting his arm up for some reason. He's putting his other hand in a mudra for some reason. But this all just happens without me to do anything. So I can hold my arm up for an hour or two without any effort on my part because
well, that's nice of them, but that'd be handy because my goodness, that's a long time. Okay, so obviously they feel that you need to be some sort of physical antenna in some way.
Antenna. And this is, the fingers are touching when they move like this. And so that friction and that motion must be doing. I actually did see another channeler one time doing it. He was lying in a chair, reclined, and you could see his hand doing this motion with the fingers. So there are things you see with other channelers, and you go, okay, that validates it for me. But I know, like, that stuff I've always known is 100% real, because like when they started overtones through my mouth, I was like, I don't know how to do this.
Exactly. Not as if you're trained to make those sort of sounds. Exactly. And some of them are unusual. They some of the even light languages, if you hear the light language, can be very unusual tones that you wouldn't think that someone could make that up because they're so different. So a lot of their language off here, people don't understand. A lot of their language, not only telepathy, but they use a lot of sound and toning. And there's sounds within the sound fields off here, off where we are, that do sound unusual like that. I've heard some myself where there's tones that, even like angelics and that, there's tones that they will repeat that are unrepeatable. So you can't really make that stuff up, you know what I mean? So it's not in our voice box to make stuff up quite like that. It really isn't. So cool.
There are some other channelers who really work a lot with sound. There's a guy named Tom Kenyon who does a lot of cool stuff with his voice. I've heard other channelers, but for me, for whatever reason, it started like I started channeling in 2010, but I didn't start toning until 2012.
Oh, okay.
And it's stuck with me over the years to the point where I always do it before the words come. The tones always come first, and it's not me who decided that this is how it should be. In fact, when the creator first started coming through me, what they would say through me in the beginning was, sing and ring, ring and sing and ring and
Oh,
sing,
true.
ring and sing. And I went,
Wow.
after months of doing that, I went, maybe I should go take voice lessons somewhere. And I did.
Yeah. Oh, you
And-
did? Okay, yeah.
And
Wow.
that coach and I,
Yeah.
we still work together 15 years later.
Yeah.
We do workshops together where we teach together. But at the time, I didn't know what I was doing. She was like, okay, she understood all of it. She understood channeling and she knew Abraham and
Mhm.
and she knew what I was doing. But eventually she came in and said, let's do a different kind of vocal warm-up today. Let's do tones. So
Yeah.
once she introduced me to tones, it was synchronistic to me listening to Wendy Kennedy channel her Pleiadians, and they're talking about the power of tone and sound and how sound created the universe and the
There you go.
pyramids.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
wow, sound stuff's powerful. Then my voice coach
Yeah.
comes in and says, let's do tones. And then it all kind of came together. And I just
That's so
started,
interesting.
you know.
Wow, it's amazing. It's like I said, it's not as if that was your plan for the future. So it's incredible that it came in so strongly. Yeah, that's incredible, isn't it?
Well,
Wow.
yeah, for
And
sure.
And
I just
it
have-
doesn't, so it doesn't. Do you feel the difference? So when you get, or you maybe you not, some channels are aware, but maybe you are or you aren't. We'll find out. Do you?
aware.
You're aware? You're aware of who they are when they come through. You can feel the difference a little bit, or what does
Little
it feel like?
Definitely there's way more, there's ones that are way more feminine. I started channeling one recently that is a female hybrid, human ET hybrid.
Right.
And she comes through with very, very different light language and clicks. A lot of so I'll be speaking and then the clicks come in between the words. It's very weird because
Yep.
like I know what the next word is, but I still have to go through the series of clicks.
To get to that stage. That's almost like echolocation, isn't it? A little bit. So I wonder what they're doing with that. That's different. Okay.
Well, I asked Bashar at one of his workshops, why do you do this thing with Daryl's teeth where you go,
yeah.
he'll make this loud sound of his teeth coming together. And he said, we're communicating with you in ways that you can't with words when we do that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
That comes through that sound.
Yeah. That's incredible. So strong. Like even your sounds just then were direct. Like that it's strong. Does that make sense? Like when you made those sounds that came through just then, they were very strong sound. It's not actually the movement or anything. I don't know. If anyone else picks it up, let me know. But it's like you can feel it coming through. Like, it's amazing. Yeah. Definitely like an echolocation. Something around that. That's really cool. Okay. So is there anything else that when you're going through your channeling that you feel that is a little bit different than other people do, because your ability is a little different, it's very personal? Is there anything in there when they speak to you or they channel through to you that you feel or pick up that could help other people to understand what channeling really is? Because I mean, a lot of people hear light language, a lot of people hear people channel information where they might speak about a topic and all that, but as a channel like yourself, that's a different field again. Is there any way you can help just briefly, because I know people can come to you and you will mentor them to help them to learn to channel, to bring that out of them. But is there a little bit of something that you can just give today that people might be drawn to that could help them understand a little bit more about that depth of channeling, what that is?
Well, like I said earlier, it has a lot to do with love being like a being. When people are falling in love, they finish each other's sentences. They're starting to like get telepathic, get on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
Channeling is really, it's energy that you're channeling, not words, not sounds, not light language. That's the channeler's creation. So the energy comes in, and just like you have raw material, like someone puts a lump of clay in front of you and then you make it into something. This is why all channeling is different. This is why you have a different channeler. They're tapped into the same being, but the two different channels saying different things, because the channeler is taking the energy that they're getting and they're molding it into something that makes sense to them and hopefully will make sense to other people too. Or sometimes it doesn't, like with light language, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't have to, because it speaks beyond what the mind can comprehend anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
So the molding of it into something else is something that happens on this subconscious level. But when you channel, you definitely want to feel something.
Yeah.
You want to have a visceral experience of it, so you then know it's not just me making this stuff up in my head.
That's
it's not
right.
just repeating what I heard Esther channel or Daryl channel because I thought it was really good. So then the energy that you download and that you activate and you spread out into the world, that has an impact much more so than the words do.
Yeah, true.
The words can be misinterpreted. The words can be bent and to fit with someone else's pre-existing beliefs. But the energy that's being transmitted, that's incorruptible.
That's right.
That's what it is, and it's going to have an impact on some people where then those people start to get their own downloads. They're getting stuff directly from their guides and higher self.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
And that makes it more trustworthy too, in a sense. Like you said, that coming through our perception, depending on our level of beliefs, can be corrupted quite easily. And it can be corrupted by the mood and things like that, depending. So I like the idea of what you do because it's direct. There is no need for your perception. You're literally stepping aside a little bit and just allowing the vehicle. So that makes it a lot safer is the word I like to use for people. So yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, but every channeler is always coloring what it is that comes through them to some extent. There's no avoiding it, because it is me who comes up with the words, even though I'm doing it in a subconscious way where I'm not. Sometimes I feel like, okay, in this instance, there's a better word to express this or something like that. So I am, even though it looks like I've gone away and I'm in a trance, I'm very present for what's happening. And I have like allowed the energy to move my body and my face and everything around. To make those tones and sounds, movement has to occur inside my throat and inside the confines of my mouth to make certain sounds. So I want all that to happen, but I still am witnessing it too.
Okay. Some people thought that they don't. So that's why I'm asking. Some people say that some of their channeling, they're not present. And sometimes they have an interpreter or something like that sits with them. There's been a few channels like that over time. So
there have been. We've evolved so much as a human collective that we don't need to go to sleep anymore to channel, like Edgar Cayce. You don't need.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've noticed even in the last year or two that the interest in this type of topic or reality has increased like enormously. People are really truly interested for the right reasons. There's been a major shift I've noticed in our collective consciously of what we're ready to accept and what we're ready to see as there's more to where we are than just us, you know what I mean? So because people are asking a lot of different questions now, even in my own work. They want to know more. They want to know what is really going on here. What is this place? What is this stuff real? Where before it was a little bit to the side, a little where people were interested, kind of following, but they didn't have that depth of interest they've got now, I've noticed. So, which is wonderful, because we're going to see a lot of things in the future, that are going to prove that we're not crazy, that this is real, and it's time for that, because I think there's a lot of people that are a little bit lost and they need this type of information because it does carry a lot of love and it does carry a lot of truth, and it'll help people find their way a little bit easier, I think, over time. So it's valuable, you know what I mean? It's very valuable. But I'm noticing the shift. I'm noticing the change, especially even now we're halfway through this year, of the interest in off-world information, the truth of what's happening here, star nations, channeling, you know, but it's slightly different than it used to be. There's people that they're finding that it makes them feel whole, loved, safe, because they've been here for so long on this planet that they're been a little bit lost and unsure of themselves. So now I'm finding this type of work. That's why I want to get you on, to let people know this type of work is real. It is the truth, and you are going to see more of it. It's going to be more prevalent. So yeah, it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of disclosure happening, especially in the U.S.
Yep.
I don't know. I've heard other countries are also doing a lot of disclosure of their South American countries and stuff, but
yeah,
I don't know about Australia.
Australia, we're a little bit slack, to be honest. We're always a bit slow. We're behind the 8 ball, as they say. But there's a lot of interest here, especially with disclosure coming in, I think, in the last 2 years, for sure. Because there's a lot of people that I know that in Australia that have not been in part of the disclosure movement. They've been interested, but now they're coming into the disclosure movement, and there's conversations. I just know there could be more conferences for a lot of the disclosure and for spirituality that could be happening here in Australia. I don't think there's enough going on here. I think there could be more. You know, there's a lot of stuff that happens in the US that, you know, could be happening here as well. So anyway, we're always just I don't know. Australia seems to be like a we wait and see type of place. I think Aussies like to know a little bit more about proof and seeing it for themselves. They're a little bit like that, which is fair enough because they do it differently. But yeah, that's what people like ourselves are there for, to just speak, let it know that it's true, and wait and see. But there's been a lot of stuff here in Australia, Turner, if you've noticed, to do with sightings, to do with disclosure, like actual proper sightings, vessels, people that have don't actually channel, but they're kind of a little bit interested, have had visitations and things like that. I've spoken to people over the last couple of years that have seen things that they didn't think they'd ever get to experience or see, even including visual, like in the sky and things like that. So we've got a little bit happening here, but there's a lot, because you're just south of me, there's a lot of contact vessels and ships that come up through the ranges and head up towards me, because I'm up in Yeppoon, which then takes you towards Mackay and further to Cairns. There seems to be I don't know, it's like a little area that they run through for sightings, comes through, I think probably over you, straight towards me on an angle that comes through a little bit of west and then goes straight up north. I don't know why, but there's a lot of traffic and proper sightings. We've had them here as well. My husband even has seen as well. So I know, you know, if my husband sees it, it's got to be true. But they track through here for some reason. So they would come through where you are, through the ranges, and then they come like a hook west a little, and then they come through over here, and then straight up to Mackay. Mackay seems to get a lot of traffic as well. So there's a lot of sightings through there. I only know that because some things have happened here for me that I've seen. I actually had contact with a gentleman I'd kept in contact with. I can't remember his name now. It's too long ago, about 5 years ago. He's actually a UFO expert and all that sort of stuff. It's his field. And he told me that there's the track that comes through here and how many sightings come through my way. So, because I got after what I saw, I got an opportunity to message his daughter, and she said, I'll find out exactly for you if it's real, if it's true, because my father will track it. And sure enough, we'd had a tracking system come through. So, yeah. So the fact that you're where you are, they must be very active down there as well, I would say, through your connection. I sort of wonder if people like yourself are little beacon points for certain areas, wherever you go, that sort of opens up that opportunity for people to be able to see things like that, maybe, or I don't know. Have you had anything like that? Have you had any other outside stuff that you've witnessed, or yourself?
The only UFO encounter that I remember having is I was driving on the 101 freeway in Los Angeles. And what's funny about it is that Daryl Anka and this other channeler has been channeling for over 40 years named Lisa Royal Holt, who's very into ET contact as well. They both also had UFO encounters on the freeway in Los Angeles.
Okay.
So
Okay.
this
Yep.
ship flew right at my car and
Yep.
was headed for the windshield until it veered off to the passenger side and then flew by the car on the
Wow.
passenger side. I had somebody sitting right next to me that I could look at and go, "You saw that too, right?" Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not just me, right? Yeah. Yeah.
And
Okay.
it wasn't big. It was, maybe like the size of 2 beach balls put together. Like it wasn't, it was weird though. It was like a plasma type ship. It was so
Okay. Yeah.
amorphous and gelatinous and
Wow.
opaque and translucent at the same time. It was a very strange thing.
That's
But
awesome.
it's like I'll go out at night and I'll look up at the sky, but briefly. I don't spend a lot of time stargazing just because of my life.
No,
is,
me neither. Yeah. Got
I
nothing
work-
else to do. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Well, a lot of what started for myself, just briefly, is that I did Stephen Greer. He was years and years ago. He did this contact meditation idea. And to be honest, I thought, what a lot of rubbish, because I was that type of person. I was a bit like yourself. I wasn't really into a lot of that back then. And he put out a meditation idea for contact only, nothing else. So there was a way that he taught you to open up into love, send forth a message, see what happens. Well, within about 5 or 6 days, something happened. So that's when I really started to go, okay, so what I'm doing, what I'm seeing, and what I'm experiencing, there's something going on here. It's got to be real. So a bit like yourself, because I came from the same Catholicism, not really sure. Look, everything is a bit rubbishy, maybe it's a bit
Yeah.
silly. And yet I was an empath and a channel. So it's a kind of a weird life, right? When you go through that. And then you eventually something happens, which happened for me, and that started it all. So I understand when you said that, you go through. I was in Catholicism. My father was grandfather was a deacon, so I wasn't really into religion. It wasn't my thing, but it was in the family. So we
Yeah.
weren't even, as an empath, it wasn't even spoken about. There was no UFOs. There was no channeling. They did light language. I got to be honest. They did a lot of language. They just didn't know what it was.
Right.
And then you go into this has all got to be rubbish, right? And I've got to be a bit crazy. And then you go through a patch through your life as you get a bit older, where you have like you said, you have a little bit of a breakdown, and then you got to accept that there's something different about you, and it's time to investigate that. So I relate to your story a little bit in that way, where you got to eventually you just go, if I don't look at this and I don't accept it and I don't see it as it's actually probably real, I'm going to miss out on a lot of experiences. So yeah, it's an interesting life. Since 2010, did you say, roughly? That's a
That's
little
right.
while. Yeah. And I
Yeah,
don't
so
know, there was a big movement back around then, 2010, was there? Or
could have been.
yeah,
I
I
mean,
don't remember.
I occasionally I'll hear other people reference 2010, and I'll think, oh, okay, it wasn't just me, but I was 20. I turned 38 that year, so it wasn't a Saturn return or anything like that. I think I woke up during my Saturn return. That's when I first became awake spiritually.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And is there anything that happened at that time that you just thought this is it, or was it just you just felt it was time to make a change? Or
Which time?
around around that time period? Was that obviously that was a hard part of your life, or you just thought?
I mean, I had a decent life on the surface, but I was in a lot of physical pain, and my relationship with my wife was not what I hoped it would be. I hoped we would have more connection and grow together and stuff, and we weren't doing that. And I was feeling like I really wanted to just be out of this relationship, but I never wanted to hurt her feelings, so it was hard on me. That was the thing where it was like I had all this, and that was probably what was causing the physical pain, was
would have been
emotional pain that I was in for feeling like, oh man, I feel like there's so much more for me, but I don't want to hurt this person that I do still love. And so it was tough. It was just a tough time where something give, and then everything happened within the span of like 3 months. And then And then 4 months after that, I started channeling. So
Oh, is that quick? Okay. So it's
yeah,
just, that I call it the leap of faith, where you just got to go, you just got to do,
yeah,
it's literally, you really have no choice when you get to that stage, that the heart is just pushing,
yeah,
it's pushing. You've got to go, you've got to do for your own sake. So,
yeah.
all right. Well, you're a busy man. I'd love to talk to you for hours, maybe another time, but we're nearly out of time. So I would really love if you would show us a little bit about how you do your work and how you channel. I'll leave it up to you how you want to do it. If you want to do message for collective, or it'll be up to them anyway.
Yeah.
That would be wonderful. And then before you do, I just want people to know that he's also, Daniel's written books as well on ascension and galactic coding, activations and things like that. Where can we find those? Obviously, Amazon probably.
On Amazon, yeah.
Yes.
All my books, just search
Okay.
my name, Daniel Scranton. I've got like 10 books on there. I even
Okay.
did a collaboration book with Daryl Anka and Lisa Royal Holt and Matt Kahn and Sarah Landon and Mike Dooley. So that one's
Okay.
also where I'm one of 6 authors or 7 authors in there.
Oh gosh. Okay, that was a big project.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Is there anything else you'd like to add before you start to channel that? A little bit about your mentorship programs and your courses. What do they involve?
Well, I'm happy to teach people how to channel, whether it's one-on-one or in a class or in a course. I offer all kinds of ways to teach. I channel for people in one-on-ones, and I do all these events all the time with Kuan Yin, Yeshua, Archangel Michael. I'm always doing these little 1-hour events that people can join for as little as 11:11. And
Oh
I do
wow.
those,
Okay.
and I do, over 10 every month. And people can find me on my website, of course, danielscranton.com, but also my YouTube channel, which is just my name, Daniel Scranton. And once you find me there, you'll find there's not only thousands of videos on there, but I'm typically making 5 new videos every week.
Oh gosh, you are busy. I need to get off my butt a little bit, don't I? Anyway, just joking. Okay. All right. Well, I'll leave it up to you. I'll mute myself so that you can do your work. And when Daniel's finished, we will sign off. So my name's Marantha O'Rourke. This is Beyond the Stars podcast. Thank you, Daniel, for coming in and giving me your time today. It's been a pleasure to meet you. I've been wanting to do this for a very long time. And if anybody wants to make contact with Daniel, there will be links below and in the after recording that you can go and have a look to see what he does, what he offers, and his books that he's written. So thank you, everyone. And as soon as you're finished, Daniel, you just let me know, and then I can end stream for you. All right. Okay. Thanks, mate.
Greetings. Well, the Arcturian Council. Well, please take a look. Will all you? Yes, yes, yes. We have come to prepare you all for your ascension and for contact with extraterrestrials. We are very safe for you to connect with, as we are non-physical. We are a collective consciousness of souls. And therefore we have no bodies and we have no ships. And there's nothing for any of you to fear in regards to us. This makes it easier for you to accept us as extraterrestrial ambassadors, as those who are inviting you to join the galactic community. We are preparing you for the physical beings who will be coming, who you will be able to meet face to face, and whose ships you will see in your skies in much greater numbers in the coming year. So you are all being prepared for more contact, just as Daniel was being prepared in his experience with us in March of 2010. We were the ones who were ushering in that energy for him to be able to channel and eventually to be able to speak for us. We will continue to assist all of you in whatever ways that we can. We invite all of you to join us in the light, to join us in the higher vibrational energies. We know that you benefit from doing so, and we know that ET contact is going to be beneficial for you as individuals and as a collective. What can you do to increase your chances of having your own contact experience before it is available to every living human on Earth? You can set your intentions for contact as you are falling asleep, and set your intentions to remember that you are having contact experiences while you are asleep at night and traveling through the astral plane. Give yourselves the opportunity to remember the experiences you've already had through meditation practices, through a willingness to use your imagination, imagining what it might have been like for you as a child to be connected to ETs in a very physical way. As all of you who are receiving this message right now have had ET contact in the physical, but you don't remember it, or you slept right through it. Those of you who are awake spiritually and interested in extraterrestrials have been a part of a hybridization program. And the hybrids are coming, and they're coming to meet you as they are your family. They want to meet their relatives. They also want to live on planet Earth and be living examples to you of what you are capable of. They're all telepathic. They are surviving on light and love. They do enjoy eating food sometimes. They don't need to, however. It is a new species of human that you're going to be meeting, and that is going to show you what is possible for you and what is actually inevitable for all of you, as you all will eventually become telepathic, no longer needing to eat or sleep to have energy. You can prepare yourselves by doing your work. Do the work on yourself that you need to do by letting go of fear, resentment, resistance, judgment, by entering into a state of being of unconditional love, which includes compassion, forgiveness, by offering yourself up as a guide to others, as a healer to others, as someone who can help and who wants to help. You have a unique voice, you have a unique message to share, a unique story. Go ahead and share it. Don't let anything or anyone get in your way. Don't worry about what other people are going to think of you, because you are awake and interested in ETs. They're going to come around eventually and realize that you were onto something all along. So be willing to be yourself, to follow your bliss, follow your heart, do what brings you the most joy, be in the highest vibration possible, hydrate yourself, ground yourself into your physical body, open yourself up to higher frequency energies, and see what happens. You may find yourself channeling very soon after taking those few simple steps. And you definitely will be having your contact experiences at some point in this lifetime, because we know that it is something that you are choosing to do individually. Not everyone on the planet wants to make contact with ETs, and that's up to them. That's their free will choice to make. But those of you who want to have ET contact, you will enjoy it, you will benefit from it, you will learn from them. They will offer you transmissions of love and light that you will be able to absorb because of the work that you're doing right now. So get ready, expect good things to happen. It doesn't take a lot of cataclysmic events, a lot of natural disasters for you to get to where you're going. It just takes each of you doing the work on yourselves that you need to do. Very good. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you. Hi there.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for coming. It has been a pleasure. So thank you, everybody, and I will see you soon. I have a few more guests coming up the next few weeks to a couple of months, so keep an eye out for that. And my name is Marantha O'Rourke, and this has been Beyond the Stars. Thank you, Daniel Scranton.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye now.